Hello, everybody. Come on in the house. Hello, hello, hello. How y'all doing today? Come on in the house. Let's get this conversation started. I just decided, look, put my stuff together. I love piano. I love keyboards. I'm but I'm working on it. It's a lifelong journey and I'm working on it. But you guys, let's get into this topic today. This is going to be a good topic. Today, this was inboxed to me by a watcher, by a person who watches the show, watches my content on Facebook. And so I decided to put this out as a conversation to have on Facebook, right? I got the inbox message. The lady says, Coach Kel, listen, I got an issue and I need to get your opinion on it. And I'd like to hear from your community. And so meanwhile, by the way, you guys, if you have a comment, you can jump in the chat box there and join the chat room and have your conversation. We'll talk about your conversation, your comments right there in the chat room. And so, lady, she said, look, Coach Kel, here's the story. I'm in a significant relationship, and I have an ex who gets calls and text and all of that from his ex-girlfriend. His ex-girlfriend. They were in a relationship. They actually have children together, but she talks to him about her relationship problems. Yes. Her man talks to his ex-girlfriend, who is also his children's mother, about her relationship issues and chronicles. All right. I want to get you guys' opinion on this as well. You tell me, if you think something is wrong with this? If you guys are catching this on the replay, look, hit the comments in the tab below. All right. Is this a problem? So there's a couple angles here that I want to address, right? The question is that there is behavior existing. The question is, why is it existing? Now, this lady talks to this gentleman and tries to get advice from him. They probably had that kind of relationship before while they were together when they were raising kids, right? And so she feels comfortable in inboxing him or calling him and getting advice and all that sort of thing. Now, she knows that this is probably walking on thin ice, but she doesn't care. Listen, some of y'all women are very bold. You know what you want. You go for what you want, and you don't care about how it all shakes out for other people. Some people just like that. That's just how it is. She figures y'all got kids together, so you have history together, right? So he's an open ear for him. Let's talk about his positioning. Now, neither one of them. Let's say the kids are older and kind of often on their own. So the kids are not involved necessarily in the scenario. So he's listening to her laments about her relationship struggles and all of that sort of thing. Now, in his position as the children's father, this is his children's mother, a man who has children with a woman really wants that woman to have a good life, right? Like no baby daddy wants his baby mama to have a terrible life, right? Because even though no matter, even if the children aren't in between this situation, they are the connection between the two. And any children's father, even if they don't want to be with him, right? Even if he doesn't want to be with her, he wishes her well. And he wants her to get her life on track and all of that. Now, The person who inboxed me about this man, she says he's when she asked him like what's the conversation about, he says, look, she just tells me about XYZ and I don't give her any advice. I just listen. Hey Coco, thank you so much for popping in. So he says, I don't give her any advice. I just listen to her. Okay. Now, so the person, the lady came and asked me, Coach Cal, you the love coach, tell me. She says, I think this is disrespectful, but he tells me it's nothing. Okay. So a couple more things that a person who doesn't realize what this is all about might not necessarily see. I'm gonna give you a couple to go on. Okay. A man, and this is just a blanket statement. A man who has a baby with a woman, right? For some men, not all men, but for some men, they believe that that's always an opening, always a possibility that they can fall back in there again, right? For some women who have a baby daddy, they have this idea that there's a possibility. Not now, this is not all women who have a child with a man that they're not with, but some. Some women who have a child with a man that they're not with have this idea that because I bore your children, we have a bond that could be off and could certainly be back on again because we're bonded for life with this situation. Now, of course, there's a lot of up and down, a lot of things in between that, but for a lot of people, they have this idea that it's a possibility. Okay. Now, I don't know. I'm not inside this lady's mind who's asking for relationship advice. Not inside her mind, but I think that she might be setting up the nest to make it comfortable for him to roll back in. Why? Because he's listening to her. He might not be giving any advice, but he's listening to her. Okay? Sometimes there is wrong in just listening. You don't have to say anything. Listening means you're interested in what she has to say. Now, I'm gonna flip back onto the man side, right? A man in general, although he wants his children's mother to do well, a lot of daddies are not interested in getting back in that situation because they know what they went through, and I don't any parts of that anymore. She is crazy. And in this situation, it sounds like she's a little crazy, but she's still got his ear. So the question is, who's got the ear? The current girlfriend have the ear, or does the ex-girlfriend have the ear? Whose ear is he more connected to? Somebody might ask, why do he care what the ex-girlfriend is doing? Why does he care if interested in getting back with her? Now, he might just be nosy. You know, he might just like to hear these tales. Now, here's something else, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies, you might not know this, but in general, when a man is listening to a woman who's got tales from the crypt, like she got adventures in her relationship, you know, there's a couple things going through his mind. One is she's a nut. This is entertaining, but she's a nut. Another thing that's going through his mind is, would you put yourself in that situation again? He's asking himself, like, yeah, she did this when I was with her. She did that when I was with her. Oh, that's why she did that. He's not saying it, but he's putting all them twos and twos together, in his mind, maybe that's why he's listening, to just get closure in his own mind about whether he was right as to if she was crazy or not. Okay, that's a real possibility. Another thing that he could be listening to it for is to listen to how crazy and what something that the fact that she is something he would never want to touch. Let me tell you something. For a lot of men unconsciously carry the Madonna complex, right? They can see all these women half dressed, can see all these women twerking on the pole. They can see all these women doing all these things, but not their woman. They need their woman to be solid and pure as the driven snow. So he's looking at her like, wow, you're disgusting, right? But he's and as something that he would never want to touch again. Ugh. Like he won't say it because he don't want to hurt her feelings. But a lot of men, when they hear women who are loose like this and women who are all over the place, for some men they get turned on just because they might get a shot, right? For some men, they are completely turned off by females who tell their tales of their adventures with their tail. Come on, somebody. Somebody talk to me in here today. So I think that all of that is of concern. And, it's a reason to be concerned. Now, here's something, you ladies, I can tell you. This is for the ladies. I can tell you this. Often, when you get a gut feeling about something, I don't know what that something is, but you get a gut feeling about this something, and this ain't right. It's generally not because you had too much pizza and you went to bed on that pepperoni. It's not that. There is something. I'm not saying that it is the thing that you think it is, but I'm telling you it's something. It's something. When I used to do, I talk about when I used to work with in social work, and I used to have to call CPS on somebody, Child Protective Services on someone, right? And they have to, the Child Protective Services come out and they do an inquiry. Listen to this. They do what's called an inquiry. If somebody suspects that your child is being abused or neglected, they come out and do an inquiry. Now, in their inquiry, they'll ask the child some questions. They'll look the child over, see if they're okay, ask the parents some questions, and then make an adjustment, make an assessment from there. Okay. Many times, CPS comes out, they get called, and there's nothing. 4 months later, they get called again, and there's nothing. And they can't find anything. 3 more months later, they get called again, and it's nothing. Now we got 3 inquiries. 3 inquiries don't mean that the person is guilty of something, of neglect or endangering their child. It doesn't mean that, but it does mean something. Look, it's not a thing where it don't mean nothing, because it definitely means something. But you have to figure out what it means. It means that there is some kind of problems that need addressing. Maybe it means they need family counseling. Maybe they need parenting classes. Maybe the children need a outlet, somewhere to go, something to do. Like there's some intervention that needs to be made. May not be just yanking the child out of the house, because it came up unfounded. The results of the inquiry was unfounded. No, nothing, they couldn't find anything, right? But if you get 3, you get 4, you get 5 inquiries, that is what you call a pattern. Okay. And so I'm telling somebody out there that It may not be the thing that you think it is, but it's something. And it's something that needs to be addressed. It may not be what you think it is, but it's something. You have to ask why. What is it in you that makes you listen to this lady's story? Do you listen to other ladies' stories or just this lady's story? Do you listen to other people's stories, like your guys? Your guys come to you for advice, and you give them advice. Are you in the advice giving business, like I am, right? And I listen to all these stories. So you have to kind of measure this thing out. Don't go with an accusation, but go with an inquiry. Inquire about the situation and then make a judgment call as to what it really is. Now, I'm not the person. If that inbox wanted me to tell her that she needs to leave this guy, get out of there right now, pack your bags and move out. If that's what she was looking for, she's wrong. You ain't getting that. Because I don't tell people to leave their spouse or leave their relationship. I tell you, I set the table for you as to what, in my professional opinion, what this is. And if you want to eat from what's on the table, dig in. If you want to walk away from the table, that's okay too. But just know you're making a decision one way or the other. And in my one-on-one coaching sessions, I don't tell people to leave your mate, not unless you are in imminent danger, not unless there's a knife to your neck every night and it's getting more and more escalated. Then I'm going to tell you, pack up and get out, leave right now. But outside of that, I don't tell people to leave. I don't tell people to break up. I don't tell people to escape the relationship you're in. I tell you, think about what you want and look down at this table and ask yourself, is this the table you should be eating from? Does this table contain the things that you want in your life? Did you want the macaroni and cheese of regret, or the turkey of tastelessness? I don't know. I just make that up. But you see what I'm saying? I don't tell people what to do, but I set the stage for them to make a good decision for their lives. Now, for this lady, I told her, I said, well, listen, I'll put it out there for the community, but you need a one-on-one session because you need to know what you need to do and how to do it, right? Once you decide, like, yeah, you could look up on a Facebook post and look at all the comments and all that, but that doesn't tell you how to strategize and how to do this. For some people who left a relationship without a strategy, the person hunted them down and killed them. Okay? So I don't believe that any of it has to be done without, it should be done without a strategy. It should be done with you getting the most information about the situation as possible before you take action. And when you take action, boom, all the way, cut all the way. No connection, no engagement, no nothing. Act like they never existed. And then you move on. All right. All right, you guys, I hope you have gotten something from this conversation today. Inbox me if you've got a situation as well. I want you guys to hop on our dang, what's it called? On our page. Check us, follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We've got all kind of content on all of those platforms at Love Coach Atlanta as well. You go check us out at lovecoachatlanta@gmail.com is the website. And we want you to be a Patreon supporter. That's what I was thinking of. It has Patreon. We need you to be a Patreon supporter. Come on in, $5 gets you. It's just $5 a month, and it gets you access to more of this content and deeper information. And if you want more, if you want some merchandise, we got that in there as well. So join the Patreon community and get with us for this rise. All right. All right, you guys, till next time. Peace and love. Bye.